Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. You amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. Guess what? Saturday, baby. It's the weekend. It's the weekend, and you're looking absolutely amazing for it. And I hope you do have a good weekend. And we're going to get straight into the meat and potatoes because guess what? It's also Shit Show Saturday. That's it, Shit Show Saturday. A day in which we look at the biggest shit show cases that there is in the news right now. And you know which one it is this time. It's Jay Slater, baby, because he's still missing. He is still missing. And we've got some movement. Because there is going to be a massive search and rescue. They're arranging a huge search and rescue. Now, hopefully, it's bigger than the last one that was arranged by sort of authorities because about 6 people turned up. So not really massive, quite small. So yeah, look, hopefully with an incentive of some money, some spondoolies coming from the GoFundMe or the NoFundMe, hopefully that will get people to come in. Now, what I will say is they've left it a little bit, in my opinion, they've left this all a little bit too late, nearly 3 weeks deep. And even though there are some people who are coming forward and saying, look, don't give up hope. Jay is out there somewhere. He's drinking rainwater. He's sucking on leaves. He's getting his sustenance through that. Now, I'm not so sure. I've said this in previous videos. I'm not so sure that we're talking about essentially him being Jay Mears. I don't think that that's the case here. I think that we are talking about a situation where lad comes from the UK, goes to Tenerife to go to a rave festival. He's doing this, raving. I'm sure that's how all the kids are doing it nowadays. And he gets involved with some people who are there. And he ends up leaving there and going to a remote place in the back end of nowhere. And what I will say is, this is best case scenario. I'm not talking about macheting people in the head and repercussions to that or retribution. I'm not talking about missing Audemars BK watches or Rolex watches. Scrapping all that. What we're talking about at the moment is best case scenario. So Raven meets someone, heads over to this property in the back end of Beyond, and he's there with a blanket and everything. You know, he's because he's cold. Don't really get what was going on with the blanket and stuff. But Jay's there, and he's happy with his people who he's met, who are apparently known to people who he was with as well. They knew one another. Lucy Law, they knew Lucy. They were associates. Weird wording, associates, not friends, associates. I think associates as in like business associates. What sort of business does Lucy Law have? Don't know. Maybe it's modelling, but I doubt it. But anyway, so Jay's at this house and he decides he's woke up. I would say he's woken up because he's probably been asleep, or has he been up all night? And he's not so much waking up, but more coming down. He misses a bus and decides that the best idea is rather than wait for the next bus to come, next one, to walk across sort of mountainous terrain, and do that for around 11 hours. And also, before you do that, you don't check whether you can get your phone charged up. I don't know if anyone can tell me what sort of phone he had, but at this house, did they, look, for instance, and I'll just put this out there, just say it was a newer iPhone, so it would be like a USB-C charger. I would imagine people around there would have had a USB-C charger. Unless he had a lightning charger. We talk about how Apple products save people's lives, but could be that a lightning cable ended this boy's life. Look, just saying, we need to get into more universal things with charging and what have you. Saves lives. So, Jay, yeah, like I say, he's decided he's missed a bus. He's going to walk. He's going to walk across this terrain with no phone. Dehydrated as fuck, because apparently the water was turned off at this house then, because he hadn't, because there was a phone call. He was, dehydrated or whatever. He was thirsty, His phone was flat. So he's not set out in the best way. He's not planned this trip. He's just left. Now we've just heard, I don't know the facts involved in it, that he was scared. He didn't want to go back there because they've probably said, look, go back there, mate, wait for the next bus. And he's like, no, I ain't going back there. Why? Is it because he was threatened there? Is it because he saw things that he didn't want to see? Now, he's obviously been around sort of gangster stuff before because he's been involved in like the machete attack and stuff. So what did he see that meant that he didn't want to go back there? But anyway, again, we don't know how true this is. We don't know the facts involved in the case. We just know the stuff that dripped through. But he then vanishes off the face of the planet. Now, I'm just putting it out there that if you've got someone who's stupid enough to miss a bus, then decide not to wait for the next bus, but to go on a hike 11 hours into the mountains with no phone, no water, no nothing, then I don't think that same person is going to be smart enough to be drinking rainwater. And again, let's just put this out there. Don't think it's rained since February. I said this yesterday. So not going to be a lot of rainwater about. And, getting sustenance from from nature. I don't think that's going to be happening. Just don't see it. So I think that the fact that what has happened with regard of the searching, I think it's now a little bit too little too late. We've got this fund that was brought together. Help us. Give us money. Give us help and support. They get it, but then they seemingly sit on it, not really doing anything with it, because apparently they were waiting for permission. They were waiting for permission to be able. That permission has now been granted, so they can now get a search together and search. So we have a quick look at this. So there's all right. Missing persons expert outlines personal theory as search takes dramatic twist. Former Lambeth Missing Persons Unit and boss Mike Neville has explained his personal theory regarding Jay Slater as the search for the missing teen rumbles on. Speaking on GB News, Neville criticised the Tenerife authorities after they called off the search last weekend, arguing the whole affair has been badly handled, which I do now agree. I don't think, sadly, that there's anyone who would have, like from a law enforcement perspective, I don't think there's anyone who would have perhaps handled it any better. Seemed to be a bit of a shit flinging thing here. Oh, they're bad, we're better, they're bad. I don't think so. I think they're all fucking bad. But badly handled, I think that's right, because we're now, like I say, about 3 weeks deep. He's not been found. What are the chances of him living out there now? What are the chances of it? They're just not there. Just can't see it. I'm sorry, but I just can't see it. This, to me, is now a recovery mission. But in what GB News host Martin Daubney branded a dramatic twist, Slater's family yesterday announced its latest desperate attempt to find him with an enormous search and rescue operation. Reacting to the latest development, Neville said, "My personal theory is he is in that park somewhere. He's just taken some substances, possibly, and had some drink. He's confused and exhausted." And I'm guessing this is the guy who we're talking about. And he's actually probably about the same age as what he will be when they find him, because he's long gone. Confused and exhausted. After 19 days? 19 days after leaving a property with no phone, no water, no food, no nothing, heading out into a mountainous, dry terrain, rough terrain, he's going to be feeling confused and exhausted. What is wrong with people? He's going to be feeling a lot more than exhausted. Well, probably not. I would imagine that he's not feeling anything at this point. And I hate to be skeptical, but look, I'm just saying, too little, too late. They went out there, they searched, they gave up the search, and now they're putting a massive, great search party 3 weeks down the bounce and hoping that they're going to find him in this fucking wilderness. You got to hope that he is secretly Jay Mears. You got to hope, because if he ain't, and he ain't coming home, And that's something I'm going to touch on a little bit later, because nobody around this case seems to really be showing how sad they are about that. But keep your eyes peeled, and I'll catch you all in the next one.